Today on the audio hotline, we actually have a brand in here that I have never reviewed yet. The brand I'm talking about is Saramonic, and this microphone is the SR-HM7. This is a dynamic handheld microphone that more so seems advertised towards spoken word rather than live music. But as per usual, we'll just go ahead and test the hell out of it. But first things first, let's get mic'd. Welcome all audio nerds to the audio hotline, and as I said before, we have the Saramonic SR-HM7 in the studio. I looked online for videos and reviews of this microphone, but I actually couldn't find much. Usually I try not to taint my own perception of a microphone before I review it. Taint. But this one I definitely couldn't because there just wasn't much about it, so I'm excited. One thing I do want to disclaim is that the fine people over at Saramonic did in fact send me this microphone, as well as another one that I won't mention. But in no way is this video sponsored. These opinions are in fact my own. They did not tell me to review it in a good way, they just sent me the gear. So a big thank you to Saramonic helping the audio hotline get some more gear to review. It's always nice when it doesn't have to come out of my own pocket, because most of the time it does. Big time. One thing I do want to foreshadow right now is that there are a couple microphones over there that I am going to put up against this. I will be putting the SR-HM7 up against the Shure SM58, as well as the Sennheiser E835. I felt like since these were all around $100, it made sense to put the newcomer up against some of the oldies but goodies. I should probably start scripting these videos. But enough rambling, let's go ahead and talk about the SR-HM7. You can find this microphone online between $100 and $120. As of the shooting of this video, Adorama had it for like $100 and B&H had it for like $120, I believe. But I will try to find the best price for this microphone and post it down below, as well as posting some affiliate links. Today I am recording this microphone into my Zoom H6 with the gain set at actually 55%. So this microphone is the XLR version, but there actually are other versions out there of this microphone. One is a USB microphone that you can plug directly into your computer, and then there is another that you can plug directly into your phone. But now let's go ahead and talk about what comes in the box with the Saramonic SR-HM7. When you open the box for the SR-HM7, you will see a nice little picture of the microphone. You take that little guy out, and then you see the microphone. And that's it, I guess. Is that it? It does come with a little snack. That's cool. Just kidding. Do not eat the silica gel. You will become addicted. It's very good. No, seriously, don't eat that stuff. That's bad. But yeah, when you purchase this microphone, it just comes with the microphone. I mean, I don't really expect a whole lot with a handheld dynamic microphone, but I would at least like a microphone clip. But like I said earlier, I do see it kind of marketed towards, interviewers and people doing spoken word stuff where they're actually going to be holding the microphone. But that definitely doesn't mean that people aren't going to buy this and try it out for like podcasting or something like that. So including a microphone clip would definitely be a nice touch. Including some sort of carrying pouch with this microphone would be really nice. And that's me taking into consideration that people are going to be carrying this around to like an interview spot. So it makes sense to include some sort of protective carrying pouch. But I have seen other microphones that don't come with anything. If you decide that you love this microphone, I'll leave a couple accessories down in the description. The one that I'm using in this video, I'll leave down below as well. It's actually a little less expensive than you would think, but this is a nice little shock mount for handheld dynamic microphones as well as handheld condenser microphones. But when it comes to the build quality of the microphone itself, this thing is built extremely well. I mean, this is absolutely on par with the Sennheiser E835 as well as the Shure SM58. But one thing I do want to show you real quick is that this microphone is tall. I mean, compared to these other microphones, this thing is pretty freaking long. I have noticed, though, that is kind of a standard with interviewers and stuff. I'm not 100% sure if this is why they do it, but when someone is interviewing someone, they usually don't have their hand in the frame holding the microphone, and you can see that this is plenty long that I do not have to do that. Maybe I should just hold this the whole time. Let's get weird. Well, now that we've gone through some of the basics of this microphone, let's go ahead and nerd out and talk about the specs. The Saramonic SR-HM7 is a unidirectional dynamic microphone specifically designed for interview and presentation uses. This microphone has a cardioid polar pattern and a frequency response of 100 Hz to 10 kHz. This has a sensitivity of negative 52.4 decibels, an output impedance of 500 ohms, and this is in fact an XLR microphone. As you can see on the frequency response graph, there is a drop in the lower end, which isn't always a bad thing for spoken word. The mids are relatively flat until about 2 kHz, and then it does have a slight boost, and then the high end does have a few decibel boost as well. Now, looking at the specs of this microphone, I do feel like everything does make sense with it being kind of meant for spoken word. Now that we've gone through the basics and we got nerdy with some specs, now let's go ahead and test this microphone out. I do have this windscreen linked down below. I will use it during some of the recordings, but during other ones, I will not use a windscreen at all. Now let's go ahead and start this baby off with a proximity effect test. If you want to get a little bit creepy with your microphone and give it a little smoochy smooch, here's how it's gonna sound. Now if you want this super long microphone right in your face when you got a windscreen on it, here's how it's gonna sound. Peter Piper picked a patch of pickled peanuts. 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 If you're a YouTube gamer and you want to pick this microphone up for your gaming sessions, here's how it sounds with a super clicky keyboard behind it. Right now I'm just hitting these MX Cherry Blues like pretty good, hitting them pretty nicely, in a hard way though, you know? And here's how it sounds. Now to test this polar pattern even a little bit further, we're gonna use some white noise. Now, if you get a little bit confused because this microphone's so damn long, like a shotgun microphone, so you put some distance between you and it, here's how it sounds about 3 feet away. Now, I'm just doing a real quick handling noise test, just passing it back and forth in between my hands, and here is how it sounds. Now, if you want to use this microphone for a podcast or anything where you're going to use some post-processing, here's how it could sound with some EQ and some compression and possibly some other plugins. I'll label it if I use them. And just a quick note, even though you can see it, this post-processing test has had the windscreen on. And just as a quick example, here is the same post-processing without that windscreen on. Since this microphone is marketed towards interviewers, I'm going to go ahead and do a couple additional tests for you. Tonight we are outside of the Avril Lavigne concert, and we're going to be interviewing one of the concert goers. Who is it that we're interviewing again?
I don't know, some YouTuber.
Great. Okay. Welcome, this YouTube guy. So exactly how long have you been an Avril Lavigne fan? Well, I mean, I don't like to admit it, but my whole damn life. Those are pretty cool tattoos you got there. Any of them Avril lyrics? Nope. No Avril tattoos to speak of, but come on, you got to at least have one. Nope, just think someone's a liar. So, you're a YouTuber. That's cool. So what's your channel all about? Yeah, I have a YouTube channel. It's called The Audio Hotline, and I just review
we get
audio
it. That's fine. Okay.
gear. So exactly how did you get into YouTubing? So it's actually kind of an interesting story. This one time that I decided to sell a microphone, I just went on Reverb, and there was this one particular microphone that just caught a ton of questions, just
This
like so
guy
many
is
people were like,
dry.
oh, does it have this one fault that a lot of microphones like that have? So
Well, that's all we have.
I was like, you know what?
for tonight.
Screw it.
Okay,
I'm just gonna
yeah,
make a
let's get
video
the hell
that
out of here.
demonstrates the fact that it is not messed up. All right, now I'm just going to do a couple quick talking tests between the SR-HM7 and the Shure SM58 and the Sennheiser E835. Here is the sound of the SR-HM7 at 55% gain on the Zoom H6. And now here is the sound of the Shure SM58 with the gain set at about 65% on the Zoom H6. And now here is the Sennheiser E835 with the gain set at about 62% on the Zoom H6. Now another audio test. Here is the Saramonic SR-HM7. One more test, here is the Shure SM58, and one more audio test for the Sennheiser E835. But now that we've gone through the basics and the specs, and we tested this microphone out, now I'm going to go ahead and get to my review, my opinion of the Saramonic SR-HM7. So the first thing I will say is that I do actually like the tone of this microphone quite a bit. I think it suits the human voice very well. And when it comes to interviews and stuff like that, I would pick this over the SM58 or Sennheiser E835. Now, if it came to live vocals and music, I would pick both of those microphones over this. But this isn't meant for that, so you can't really fault it, and those are meant for that, so you know. But I actually think that a lot of people could be very happy with this microphone for podcasting. But not everything is perfect here. There are a few faults. This microphone doesn't reject plosives very well, and it actually struggles with breath in general. But once the windscreen is on, it does a good job. This I was a little surprised by, but the handling noise was not up to par with what I thought it was going to be. When I was holding it just regular and wasn't moving around a whole lot, it was fine. But when I was switching hands, it was definitely noticeable and distracting. Another con is that usually microphones around this price come with a carrying bag and a mic clip. And the fact that this didn't come with anything kind of sucks. The first pro I will give it is the sound. It sounds good for spoken word. It has that dipped bass and it has that boosted high end for clarity. Even though that bass is cut out a little bit, it still has a nice warm sound when you get close to it, and it isn't overly bassy when you get close to it because that bass is cut out. Another big pro is that this thing is absolutely built to last. It feels fantastic. When you're holding it, it feels really comfortable. It's just really nice. Someone wants to say hello. Oh, hi. His name's Maxie. Actually, it's just Max. But I call him Maxie Pad. He hates that. Forgive the fur. Overall, I do think this is a very solid microphone, and I think for certain people, it's going to fit their needs absolutely perfectly. So would I recommend this microphone? Absolutely. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for live music or anything like that, but I would recommend it for spoken word and especially for interviewers. But they definitely nailed who this microphone was for. That came out wrong. Ew. And with that being said, I have a hard time faulting it too much because it did what it said it was going to do. So the grade that I give the Saramonic SR-HM7 is a B+. So overall, I'm definitely happy with the results of this microphone. I think it did a very good job. But all it comes down to is whether this microphone is right for you and whether you like the sound of it and you think it'll fit your voice. Thank you all for watching this review of the Saramonic SR-HM7. I hope that it helped you out, helped you decide whether you want to pick one of these up or not. But most of all, I hope you had fun. Stay tuned for a lot more reviews and other audio-related videos. But another big thank you to Saramonic for sending me the SR-HM7. I had a very fun time reviewing it, and I really appreciate you supporting the audio hotline. And a gigantic thank you to everyone that watched this video and to everyone that has subscribed to the audio hotline and watched this video. And once again, thank you all for watching the audio hotline. I'll see you audio nerds next time.